Hi children, welcome back to our class. Let's continue with our second chapter, acids, bases and salts. And today's topic is chemicals from common salt. Chemicals from common salt. Now what are salts? The last class we saw what are salts. So what are salts? Salts are compounds which are formed by the neutralization of an acid with a base. Compounds formed by the reaction between an acid and a base are known as salts. Now what is common salt? What is common salt? Common salt is nothing but the sodium, the most commonly used salt, sodium chloride. That is a salt that we use in our homes. In curries and all dishes we put salt, that is known as common salt, most commonly used salt, that is sodium chloride. Now how is sodium chloride obtained? What is the source of sodium chloride? As you know, as we have learned in smaller classes, sodium chloride is obtained from seawater by the evaporation of seawater. Salt is obtained by the evaporation of seawater. Seawater can be collected in shallow pits and due to the heat of the sun, the water from the seawater gets evaporated and what is left behind is salt. Okay, so that is how we get common salt, sodium chloride, by the evaporation of seawater. Now large huge deposits of salts are found in several parts of the world. But the salt that we see in our home, that we use in our home, will be free flowing fine crystals of pure white crystals of salt. But once you get it after the evaporation of seawater, it won't be like this. It will be in the form of large crystals and also the color is often brown due to the presence of impurities. And as we get from the by the evaporation of seawater, we call it as rock salt. It will be hard and it will be in the form of large crystals with brown color due to the presence of impurities. We call it as rock salt. Okay, so rock salt. So common salt is, the things that you have to remember is, salts are compounds formed by the reaction between acids and bases. Common salt is the most commonly used salt, that is sodium chloride. The source of sodium chloride is seawater and it is obtained by the evaporation of seawater. Seawater is collected in shallow pits and it is allowed, the water is allowed to evaporate by the heat of the sun. Then salt will be left behind. The salt that we get by the evaporation of seawater is in the form of large crystals and it is often brown due to the presence of impurities. We call it as rock salt. The sodium chloride actually is the raw material for the production of various materials of daily use such as, so this is an industrially very important raw material for the production of different substances like sodium hydroxide, bleaching powder, then washing soda and baking soda. Okay. So sodium chloride is actually the raw material for the production of various materials of daily use such as sodium hydroxide, bleaching powder, washing soda and baking soda. Now one by one we have to see about each of these chemical substances. To start with sodium hydroxide. Common name of sodium hydroxide is caustic soda. Common name of sodium hydroxide is caustic soda and the formula of sodium hydroxide, as you know, is NaOH. Okay. So the chemical known by the common name caustic soda is sodium hydroxide and its formula is NaOH. Now let's see how is it prepared. First is preparation. How is sodium hydroxide prepared? The process is known as, the process of manufacture of sodium hydroxide is known as chlor-alkali process. Sodium hydroxide is manufactured by a process known as chlor-alkali process. Now, in this method, we take aqueous solution of sodium chloride is taken. An aqueous solution of sodium chloride is taken. We call it as brine solution. An aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride mixed with water. That is aqueous solution of sodium chloride. It is known as brine solution. We pass electric current. Electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of brine. Then it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and chlorine. So, the process is carried out to get sodium hydroxide. Main product is sodium hydroxide. Along with that, we are getting two industrially very important byproducts too. That is hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen is obtained at the cathode. Chlorine is obtained at the anode. Both are gases. Hydrogen gas is collected at the cathode and chlorine is obtained at the anode, and also sodium hydroxide is collected near the cathode. Okay, so that's about sodium hydroxide. What is sodium hydroxide? It is NaOH, known by the common name caustic soda. Now, how is it prepared? Sodium hydroxide is prepared by a process known as chlor-alkali process. It is prepared by a process known as chlor-alkali process. In this process, aqueous solution of sodium chloride, known as brine, is treated with electric current. Electric current is passed through an aqueous solution of brine. When it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and chlorine. So, sodium hydroxide is the main product. Along with that, we are getting two industrially very useful gases, hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen is obtained at the cathode and chlorine is obtained at the anode. Sodium hydroxide is obtained near the cathode. So, all the three products of this reaction are extremely useful. Now, in the textbook there is a figure. You have to learn that figure. Page number 30. Page number 30 of your NCERT textbook. Figure 2.8. It is actually the preparation of important products that you get from chlor-alkali process. The uses of each of these components like NaOH, H2 and Cl2 are given in the textbook. So, from that figure you have to learn the uses of sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen is highly important, widely used fuel. It is used for the manufacture of fertilizers like ammonia. Chlorine, as you know, is used for disinfecting drinking water, for the disinfection of swimming pools. It is used for making bleaching powder. There are various uses. So, the uses of all these substances, hydrogen, chlorine and NaOH, you have to learn from the textbook, page number 30, figure 2.8. Okay. Now, we move on to the next chemical which is obtained from sodium chloride, that is bleaching powder. Its chemical name, bleaching powder actually is the common name. The chemical name is calcium oxychloride with the formula CaOCl2. Okay, bleaching powder is the common name of the chemical substance calcium oxychloride with the formula CaOCl2. Now, let us see how is it prepared. The preparation we will see. Okay, so the chlorine gas which is produced in chlor-alkali process. In the previous process, we got chlorine as one of the byproducts. This chlorine is treated with calcium hydroxide. This is commonly known as slaked lime. We have learned it in the first chapter. So, chlorine gas is passed over dry slaked lime, calcium hydroxide, where you get CaOCl2 plus H2O. Okay, so this is how bleaching powder is prepared. This is an important topic. What is bleaching powder chemically? It is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2. It is prepared by the action of chlorine which is produced in the chlor-alkali process on dry slaked lime. So, Cl2 plus CaOH twice will give you This is bleaching powder, CaOCl2 plus H2O. Okay. Now coming to the uses. Let's see the uses of bleaching powder. The first use is, as the name suggests, it is used for bleaching. Bleaching powder is mainly used as a bleaching agent in for bleaching wood pulp in paper factories. Then cotton and linen in textile industries. Cotton and linen in textile industries. Then next one is for bleaching washed clothes in the laundry. Washed clothes in laundry. Okay, so this is the first use of bleaching powder. It is used for bleaching cotton and linen in textile industry, washed clothes in the laundry, and also wood pulp in paper factories. Wood pulp is used for making paper. So it will be brown in color. To bleach it, make it white, it is bleached. Okay, using bleaching powder. Now the second use is as an oxidizing agent. As an oxidizing agent in chemical industries. It is used as an oxidizing agent in chemical industries. And the last one is to disinfect drinking water. What do you mean by disinfecting drinking water? To make it free of germs. Disinfect means to make it free of germs. So bleaching powder is used to disinfect drinking water, to make it free of germs. So these are the three uses of bleaching powder. This is very important. What is bleaching powder? How is it prepared? What are its uses? So bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride, represented with the formula CaOCl2. It is prepared by the action of chlorine gas on dry slaked lime. The equation you have to write. Then comes the uses. It is used for bleaching cotton and linen in textile industry, washed clothes in laundry, and also wood pulp in paper factories. Second one is, it is used as an oxidizing agent in chemical industries, and the last one is, it is used to disinfect drinking water, to make it free of germs. So that's it.